Run through this first slide, just a few points to consider. So I know we talk about these most times through, but they are pretty big points that we do want to push out. Now, to maintain an individual ASP authorisation, all mandatory training and competencies required for that authorisation must be current. Refresher training must be completed before the expiration date. We've also got all work orders must be closed by the end of each working day. If not closed by 12 p.m. the next day, Bluecurrent will close these out and mark them as a UTC, and payment will be withheld for these. If you can't close a work order, please inform Beth, Matt, Darcy, or myself immediately to ensure payment is not withheld. Now we have got the ServiceMax current update version, which is 24.2, that version 12.1.1. Now, we do ask that everyone does please check the MQE subcontractor portal for important updates, including license expiry reminders, availability status, RCTIs, general support, and access to the knowledge base for guidance on key processes and configurations. Now, it is a great tool. I do harp on this about this all the time, just about every month. But we are updating that portal to make it more streamlined and effective for you guys that need to use it. So please jump in, check it out. If you have got any regular questions, chances are we have got an answer for it in there as well, and we can point you in that right direction. Additionally, MQE does stress the importance of safeguarding customer information, so please be mindful of all information received and make sure like all your devices are appropriately password protected. Now, if you are unable to work on the day or any future day, please email Beth Porter and availability. If you can't get onto them or they haven't responded, please loop me into that as well, and I'll make sure that gets through to the right people. Now, you're all very familiar with it, but our MQE hotline, 025836 6655. We do have somebody on that in scheduling dispatch from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I believe that is with the supervisors as well. So please reach out to that. It's a great tool. Yeah, we'll keep on ripping in. Now, our top 10 NRL tippers. We've still got Robbo up one. He's been in that spot for quite a while now. Jaff is right in his heels. I think there's only about 1 point in it, so it'll come down to the grand final this weekend. Who picks what? AK has dropped down a little bit, but yeah, that top three, top four are very, very close. So get your tips in for this weekend, and yeah, good luck. Now, stock and logistics. I don't think Chris is on here, but if you, I'll run through this as well. If you do remove it, we need to return that to Bluecurrent. So billing is happening again soon. Emails are going out later this week. Please note, we don't want to pass on any bills. We want to work with you to get the stock returned ASAP. So in other words, help us help you. We don't want that pressure coming down to you guys, so we do just ask for those to be returned as soon as possible. Chris has been busy investigating errors, etc. There seem to be a lot of issues with incorrect modems on site. If this happens, please raise it on the day so it does not result in a bill later on. Please upload all evidence of the stock you take out and put in into ServiceMac, as Chris uses this as evidence to fight for you guys. So please see this as an example of how photos should look in ServiceMax. We have got our stock ordering process. Most of you guys should be pretty familiar with where our depots are, which will be closest to you. So in Dubbo, Mayfield, Warhope and Penrith. All of our stock will be allocated on Fridays, so please ensure your order is emailed to chris.clark@mqegroup.com.au before 10 a.m. Friday mornings. We have time actually set aside to pull out and transfer stock and get that ready for you all. For techs who receive stock direct, please email the below. So logistics, one at oz@bluecurrent.com.au, and CC chris.clark in and myself. Please confirm all stock meters and modems and non-serialized stocks such as aerials. Missing or unaccounted for stock is charged back to the technician. Right, guys, that should be about it for me for the moment. I will pass over to Beck for a bit on health and safety.
Morning, everybody. Not too much in the way of incidents. So we're still dealing with those aggressive customers or aggressive people. This month we've had it's an aggressive person, which was actually a neighbour. So we're seeing a little bit more of this as well, where it's not actually the customers being irate or agitated. It's actually other people. So this one here, a neighbour approached the tech and was quite in his face and led to the tech leaving site. So again, be mindful, keep reporting these in so we can keep track of them. But yeah, just watch those signs for aggression. We've gone through this a few times before, but utilize that traffic light scenario where we go green, we're good to go. Orange is where we talk about people being a little bit agitated, and there's the potential there to be aggressive. So watch for those signs there. See if we can de-escalate. If we can't, and your safety is at question at any point in time, then we want you guys to obviously leave site. Safety first, always. The second one we had, not on the Bluecurrent program, but we on a separate program, was interaction with dogs. So the technician has actually gone to the back of the home, which when you have a look at the actual photos, you can see why that was done. There was no signs of the dogs, so as he's approached the board, the dogs have either been let out of the house or have managed to escape the house. They were quite big dogs and quite sort of aggressive dogs. He was lucky enough, he managed to get out of the yard in time before he actually had an interaction with them, but another big one. Dogs are obviously one of our bigger hazards, along with the aggressive customers, and also coming into the spring summer season, we're seeing a rise in snakes as well. So situational awareness, guys, we want you guys to be looking for the hazards. Do your quick risk assessment. Is this okay? Do I need to put some control measures in place? Do I need to leave site? And then our health and safety alerts recap. So not a lot of health and safety alerts went out this month. They're mainly the technical alerts that are coming through Salesforce. So again, there's valuable information in there. We try not to overload you guys with information. We try and keep it, to the point and give you exactly what you need. So just make sure you're going through those emails as they come through. Next slide there, MJ. Okay, so this month we've got a little bit of a focus on fatigue. So fatigue is a state of physical, mental, or emotional impairment that reduces a person's ability to work safely and effectively. So again, it's another one of these hazards that we need to consider when you guys are traveling, when you're working, by yourselves, when there's pressures to get jobs done, whether it's, financial pressures or, personal pressures or what have you. We need to factor all these things in, and we need to consider our fatigue as one of our big hazards as well. So being fatigued leads to poor decision making. It leads to incidents, accidents, obviously. So we all know sort of the signs and symptoms. We'll touch on that real quickly. I don't want to sort of go over the information that you guys know, but we often repeat ourselves in safety. And I know you kind of, you can be sitting there listening going, yeah, we've already done this. We've already gone over this. But the reason why we keep going over it is to keep it fresh at mind. So we regurgitate the information or the hazards that we know are issues for you guys. So it's to keep them at the forefront, to keep discussions open about them, and to see if there's any additional, control supports and things that we need to do. So next slide, please, MJ. So as I just mentioned, fatigue reduces alertness, reaction time, and decision making, therefore increasing the risk of incidents. So for you guys, that would be our electrical shock incidents, slip, trips, and falls. When we're not on our A game, this is where things go wrong. So obviously, if there's an increase of risk of incidents, there's therefore an increased risk of injuries and illnesses. So being fatigued over long periods of time can then cause long-term chronic illnesses as well. So it's not just about the incidents and accidents, it's also about your health and well-being. So we have increased risk of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, all that kind of stuff when we're dealing with fatigue on a regular basis. Next slide. So some examples of fatigue-related accidents. So fall from heights. So having a look at the slide here, fall from heights caused 32% of construction fatalities. And a lot of these were then linked into fatigue and reduced alertness. Machinery-related incidents, 22% of fatalities involving machinery accidents. And again, linked back to fatigue. Worksite vehicle accidents accounted for 42% of workplace deaths. And these were often linked to fatigue and or driver drowsiness. So we know you guys are on the road a bit. There's, potential to be in isolated areas, if we're driving, long periods of time or whatever, make sure we're stopping, we're having breaks, we're staying hydrated, all those things. If you do find that you are feeling a little bit fatigued, then, follow the basic steps is pull over, have a break. If it's still an issue or you need additional supports, then bring through to the hotline. We can support you. So there's things that we can put in place for you. We can do regular check-ins. We can shift a few jobs around if we need to. We're here to support you guys to make sure that there's no accidents. And the last one we've got here is electrical work hazards. So fatigue in electrical work can cause critical errors such as failures to isolate circuits leading to injuries. So again, when we're fatigued, we're not thinking, we're not at our A game, we're not thinking 100%, and it leads to little misses here and there, which leads to incidents, which leads to injuries. All right, next slide, MJ. So I think on the next one, so I've got some real world case studies here, and these are not related to our industry, but the reason why I put these in here is it shows that even in really, really high risk high risk industries where these guys are kind of all over their safety stuff, fatigue still contributes to deaths. So the first one I've got there is the BP Texas City refinery. So this happened in 2005, and fatigue contributed to a blast that killed 15 people. So again, this is a high risk industry where they are, all over their safety aspect, but somehow this has slipped through and 15 people died. The Metro North train derailment in 2013, an engineer fell asleep. So this is a guy with an extremely important job. He fell asleep, killed 4 people and injured 60 people. Again, these are high risk industries. You guys are also in a high risk industry. But I think what we take for granted is the fact that we do this job over and over, and it's the same sort of job, when we're dealing with these meters. So we don't want people to get complacent because, you've got that repetitive type of work happening. We do have a shared responsibility to manage fatigue. So shared responsibilities means you guys have a responsibility to manage your fatigue. We have a responsibility to ensure that you are managing your fatigue and to support you through that as well. So again, any questions, any queries, if you need more information, if you are finding yourself a little bit fatigued out on site, then give us a yell. We can help you. Next slide, MJ.
Sorry, can I just jump in there, Beck?
Again.
Yep, just to add to that, you'll never have any pushback or any issue if you ever need to give back jobs due to fatigue or any reason for that matter. You don't have to explain why if you just can't get to a job because there's personal reasons, whether you're tired, whatever it is, guys. If you can't get to a job, you just need to let us know and we'll sort it out on the back end. There'll be no backlash. There'll be no marks against your name, anything like that, guys. We're here to protect you. We want you guys getting home safely every day. So I just want to make that extremely clear, and especially when dealing with fatigue. If you think something's a bit excessive in regards to travel or anything like that, and you don't think that you can manage that fatigue properly, let us know and we'll find an alternate resource or another way to do the job.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks, Mickey. Yeah, I think one of the important things there, as Mickey was saying too, like with our scheduling and stuff like that, like, we're all human beings. We don't always get it 100% right. So if there's something in there that concerns you guys, give us a call. We're here to support. We've supported, in the last couple of months, say 6 months or whatever, there's been a couple of incidents of fatigue where, the guys have let us know that they weren't doing 100%. So we put things in place to support them, and that's what we're here for. So thanks for jumping in, Mickey. Causes. I'm not going to go through the causes, signs and symptoms. I'm just going to read through the sort of the highlighted ones. These are the ones that we kind of forget about. So your remote and isolated work locations, that is definitely a cause of fatigue because you're out there kind of by yourself. When we're doing the long distances, when we're out in areas that are a little bit more remote, that can also exacerbate fatigue. Dehydration, poor diet, and lifestyle choices. So they're the things that you guys can control. So things like dehydration, if you're not drinking enough fluids, especially heading into the summer months, that will cause fatigue. So these are things that I want you guys to be aware of. Then we've got all the standard things there, your work hours, travel, health, stress, those things as well. In the signs and symptoms, what we want to be mindful of, the standard stuff, you're yawning, heavy eyes, that kind of stuff that we're all aware of, but minor injuries or near misses. So if you have minor injuries or you've had a near miss, not related to fatigue. It can be caused by something else that can actually cause you to be fatigued as well. Illnesses as well. So at the moment, I think I'm on my third, maybe going into my fourth week of dealing with flus. So I'm fatigued at the moment because of that. So health issues, colds, flus, all those standard things that we get, they can cause fatigue as well. Increased sensitivity to stress. So when we are fatigued, we do have an increased sensitivity to stress. So something that, is a minor annoyance today, if I'm fatigued tomorrow, can be a massive big deal. People can withdraw during fatigue as well. It's like, I just want to be by myself, and it's because of those poor moods. And then we have a reduction in work quality as well, which we've kind of already discussed. Any questions or any comments or anything on those ones? I think they're all pretty self-explanatory. Awesome. I think I'm on my last slide and I'll let you guys go. Is there one more? Yep. Okay. So what to do if you're suffering from fatigue? Give us a call. There are many ways we can manage fatigue together to ensure your safety. So these might include regular check-ins, work adjustments, EAP assistance. So fatigue assessments and fatigue plans help us make sure that we are all safe and we're doing things as safely as what we possibly can. So one of the things that we talk about with safety all the time is communication. Let us know if you're having issues. We're not here to crucify people, as Mickey said. We're here to help. We're here to make sure everybody goes home safely. And I think that's my last one, MJ. Beautiful. So any questions, anything, reach out to me. I'm happy to provide more resources or anything in regards to fatigue. Otherwise, any issues, call the hotline, have a talk to the guys. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Beck. I might hand over to Das and Matt now, get started on the importance of testing and roll into the technical aspect.
Thanks, MJ. Morning, everyone. We'll just go over next slide. Just zero tolerance testing. Obviously, this is in here every month, but it's extremely important. All technicians, whether BAU or ASP, must follow the full testing procedure with no exceptions. This is critical to ensuring the safety, compliance, and quality of all installations. All tests must be completed and results verified before leaving site. Skipping tests or rushing through testing will not be tolerated. Any failure to follow the procedure may result in a stand down pending investigation. This is mandatory zero tolerance policy and is enforced at all times. On to the next one. Zero tolerance terminal tightness. Again, this is in here every month. All meter terminals, including unused, must be tightened to the manufacturer's specs. I won't go through the specs. Everyone should know them by now. Cable terminations. Cables must be correctly terminated with copper correctly secured under both terminal screws if present. Take care when stripping back outer installation and ensure all conductors make proper connection. All terminations should be checked and adequately tightened. This applies to all relevant connections, including main switches, fuses, links, meters, and supply authority equipment. Non-compliance may trigger a formal warning or disciplinary action, depending on the severity. This is a mandatory and enforced requirement. Just some audit findings. Non-compliant service neutral links. Service neutral links must be terminated in a tunnel, not under a clamping plate. The tunnels must also have 2 terminal screws. If you come across these out in the field on any new connections, please replace the link. So it's just some photos on the right hand side there. You'll see the non-compliant links. We need to swap those out. We've had a few lately. We'll have to go back and fix up. So please make sure you are checking they are the compliant links. First aid kits, most commonly burns dressings are out of date, or one or more of the face, chest burns dressings are missing. Please double check first aid kits regularly, ensure nothing is expired or missing. Meter mounting bolts and nuts. Meter mounting nuts left loose and on some sites enough so that the meter is not securely fixed to the panel at all. Also, mounting bolts left protruding of the rear of the panel, more than 10 mil. Please ensure we are taking the time to correctly mount our meters and associated equipment. External antennas, incorrectly mounting external antenna brackets not securely fastened, fixing used are incorrect. Cable management, just please have another read through the work instruction 3020. As you can see, a photo on the right there again, just an antenna mounted incorrectly, just with one fixing and just hanging off the side. And then people also aren't using conduit when they're running it through the back. So please make sure you have a read of that and you're doing it right. NIMI stickers incorrect or missing. We've seen a steep rise in missing or incorrect NIMI stickers this month. Please ensure everyone is slowing down and double checking this. I understand this is a simple mistake that anyone can make, and although these may seem minor, they're pretty critical one in the industry. So yeah, no one wants to go back to fix up a NIMI sticker, so make sure you are triple checking before you leave. Site cleanliness, all rubbish and debris must be removed after installation and exchange works. This includes offcuts of cables and strip installation. Remove seals and snap bolts. Ensure the site is left clean and free of waste. Retailer auditors are huge on this, and negative feedback is taken very seriously. So just leave the site how you would want someone to leave your house. Just pick up everything there. Yeah, you kind of all the rubbish that you make there. Meter panel security, as per the AS3000, all electrical panels must be securely fastened to prevent movement or tampering and can only be opened using a tool. So yeah, just please make sure you focus on those this month and yeah, getting them all correct. On to the next one. Just some quality assurance stuff. As usual, just a big shout out to everyone that scored 100% in their QAs this month. Always a really good effort. Always getting the photos through when we need them. So yeah, really appreciate the work. On to the next one. So we just saw a bit of a rise in our major non-conformances and our minors. So we'll just aim to bring those down over the next few weeks. I think we have already seen some good results this month. So yeah, keep up the good work with those. Onto the minors, onto the majors, sorry. So yeah, like we mentioned before, just NIMI stickers, we have seen a big rise in these. So just make sure you're triple checking that sticker, making sure all the numbers are right. You haven't written down the one from a different work order. We all know it can happen, but like we said, we don't want to have to send you back to site just to change a sticker. Onto the minors. So we saw kind of a few across a lot of different categories last month, but site checks and missing photos of churn terminals saw the biggest rise. So just try and bring those down. Site checks is mostly just guys missing solar. So please make sure you're reading those special instructions and also checking over your site to look for any inverters or PV stickers or anything like that, because it's not always going to be in the work order. So please make sure you are triple checking that. That's our biggest issue at the moment. Moving on. Just our October focus. So I've mentioned most of these already. Correct NIMI stickers, clear photos front and back, correct site checks, selecting solar, and filling out defect forms correctly. So that would just be putting on all the details for the rec to understand what they need to do, or if it's aimed at the customer, just clear details written out in that defect form, because we get a lot of defect forms that have not enough detail and the customer rings up and complains, and obviously that's not good for the retailer or us. So please make sure you are putting in lots of details for those defect forms. On to the next one. So transposed line and load wiring. We see a lot of these. So 122 sites had incorrect wiring caused by technicians, the largest cause of transposed wiring. This has led to an estimated $15,000 in return to signed work orders. This is not including admin time for creating bookings for work orders, SME site visits for verification, retailers reprocessing billing and data, and then impact beyond cost. Customers' trust is affected by rebilling or solar credit adjustments. On average, just over one transposed site per week is due to technician wiring errors, but others include incorrect wiring by the rec, tampering identified, battery on site, and no fault found. So this just shouldn't be happening. We should be picking up these when we are doing our tests. So obviously we always have to be doing our load tests, and that always should be picked up. So yeah, just straight up shouldn't be happening. So please make sure you are doing everything correctly, because obviously it costs the business money, and impacts the customer and creates unhappy customers. So extremely important to get these ones right. Moving on. Just an example of some clear photos. So we really want to see photos of the full back of the board and the front. Obviously, we want to see all the switches on the front, all the meters, all the serial numbers, the NIMI stickers, but the back's very important. So if we get a complaint from the customer, Bluecurrent or ourselves can go back and look at those photos, and we can pick up any faults. That goes back to the transposed line and load. We can see if it's been transposed if you have clear photos. So it's extremely important to get these. This can save us going back to site, or you getting back to site if a customer's complained, if we can prove from the photos that it's not something we've done. So please make sure you are getting those clear photos where possible. Obviously, sometimes it's hard to get your camera in there. So yeah, moving on. Load control devices in the essential network. So from the 1st of November, Bluecurrent will take responsibility of switching controlled load sites in the New South Wales Essential Energy Network. This will now make the wiring of controlled load sites in New South Wales consistent across all 3 networks in New South Wales. All technicians will now reconfigure the controlled load wiring so that the site is internally switched, and remove the load control devices from wherever a meter is installed or exchanged. Please see the below techular and also familiarise yourself with all of the attached documentation, which includes a training package and updates of the Work Instruction 3100, TS 5412 and TS 5400. Please note, for all sites with low or no signal, technicians will be expected to load the relevant business services onto the meter at the time of install. Storm Mobile and the EDMI Bluetooth head will be utilized for this. More information on this will be provided shortly. So just please make sure you read all those technical updates that has been sent out. It's got all the information in there. But if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to the hotline or a supervisor, or Matt or myself. Jake, you got something to add?
Thanks, Darcy. Just in there, see that last part about the reprogramming. We're looking at what options we've got. Obviously, that's one way to look at it. We are looking at another option, so that's not necessarily set in stone as of yet. But like I said, we'll have that info all squared away before November 1. I'll like to apologise too, because we sent out the 1st of October, not realising there was a couple extra things that were going to hold us up a bit. So yeah, sorry about I guess a little bit of misinformation at the beginning. I think you guys might have sent some info out saying the 1st of October, but it's vital that we don't start doing this until the 1st of November, because there is still issues around penalties and stuff like that we can incur if we do make a site internal before that time. So just please make sure you don't implement this to the 1st of November. We'll bring out more info as we get closer. And then what we'll also sort of look at to see is we've reached out to Essential as well to see if they've got any handbooks or guides or something that they might have used internally with their technicians, to provide even more information on those funny, wacky sort of configurations that are out there and what to do. So I guess the biggest thing that if you see through that alert and a lot of the info that we've sent out about this is that, if you're in doubt, when the 1st of November kicks in and you're in doubt, or at any time really, just reach out and ask questions. Don't try and sort of work your way through it and think you're doing it right. If you're not sure what's in front of you, just definitely reach out to your supervisor or SME, local SME.
Thanks, Jake. Cool, we can move on to the next slide. Master subtractive metering. So technicians may come across sites which are known as master subtractive sites. These sites are complex sites that have meters at multiple locations. There'll be a master meter at a panel, often on a network pole, and then a downstream meter on panels in other locations. These downstream meters are known as subtractive or slave meters. The meter measures the total power consumption at the premises, and the subtractive meters measure a subset of power, often controlled loads, already measured by the master meter. The most common scenario is a master meter at the pole and then the other meter at the house with essential energy time clock or FIR present. However, there are many different types of these sites, and some have many subtractive meters for controlled loads such as hot water, heating, shearing sheds, bore pumps, etc. These sites are still with the responsibility of essential energy, to rectify these master subtractive metering before these jobs are scheduled out as meter replacements. Often these jobs are scheduled out without rectification works or are not even correctly identified as complex sites by the retailers. Do not complete these work orders if essential has not been to site, as you will become responsible for them, even if the most basic ones, one on the pole and one at the house. Please call the MQE Tech Support Hotline for all of these sites or suspected sites so that we can check in the system. So yeah, basically if these haven't been fixed up, just don't touch them and they'll be UTCs. It's up to Essential to have these sites ready when we go there. Like if you're ever unsure, just give the hotline a call. Moving on. Rec-initiated work orders. Just a timely reminder that there has been a new process for scheduling in all rec-initiated work orders. This was implemented back in June 2025. We've seen a rise in BAU technicians also raising their own work through Bluecurrent, which is obviously a good thing. MQE just wants to ensure that everyone has access to the latest information. On that, there is still no older meter request forms still being sent into the partners team. Please ensure all technicians have a copy of the latest version of this form. If there are any further questions, don't hesitate to reach out. So just make sure you have that that form on the right hand side there, that updated form, and you're using that correctly. Moving on. Just some tech alerts. CCEW's gone digital in New South Wales. So we have received word from New South Wales Building Commission. This date for submissions of paper copies of CCEWs has been pulled back until 1st of March 2026. An online portal where all CCEWs must be submitted is being created and is scheduled to go live early December 2025. MQE will keep everyone updated as soon as we are provided with any further information. Logging into Storm, preferably log into Storm app weekly if not currently working on jobs. If the above can't be done, you must log in the night before, not on the day, to avoid issues like password errors and delays. Login email format should be like the below. This helps us ensure seamless access to the system. So we have still seen guys trying to log in on the site, and obviously lots of these sites you won't have coverage, and you just won't be able to log in. So please make sure you're logged in beforehand so you don't have to try and figure out passwords while you're on site and then you're stuck waiting around. Just more to make your day a bit easier. On to the next one. Just site checks. We mentioned this before, but ensure all site checks are double checked before submitting the work order. Pay close attention to controlled loads and uncontrolled loads, internal, external load control, load ratings, presence of solar. Incorrect site checks, especially involving solar, can result in major billing issues and obviously customers being unhappy. Reading special instructions and double checking meter serial numbers. Please ensure you are reading all information on work orders. Often relevant information is available in special instructions, and that information can help clarify the situation. If the warranty work orders are assigned to you, please do not UTC them. Contact the MQE Tech Support Hotline for more information if required. If these warranty work orders are not yours and you're unclear on what to do or have any concerns with billing, please double check. Double check meter serial numbers. Do not proceed if meter serial numbers do not match on one or more of the meters, is missing from site but still listed on the work order. If any technicians are ever unsure, please contact the MQE Tech Support Hotline or a supervisor. That one about the meter serial numbers is the most important one. We just can't be changing the incorrect meters. We did have one last month, so you just need to be triple checking that. It just causes huge issues behind the scenes of trying to fix it up. So yeah, always triple check that one before you start. And I think that might be it. Any technical questions or anything from the field, or any SMEs want to add anything to that, Jake or anyone?
No, mate, you covered it off. Thank you for that.
No, if no one has anything to add, we probably can leave it there. If you want to, unless you have anything, MJ.
No, I'm all good. Thanks for that, Das. Cheers for everyone for jumping in, and yeah, we'll see you next month. Thank you very much. See you guys.
Cheers, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks, guys.